The silly season is absolutely wild right now, and this time the rumors might just blow the roof off Formula One. Imagine this: Max Verstappen leaving Red Bull and teaming up with George Russell at Mercedes. Yep, that's the level of chaos we're talking about. What started as speculation has quickly spiraled into a very real scenario, and if this happens, the entire driver lineup for 2026 could be flipped upside down. You and I both know that Mercedes isn't afraid of bold moves, but bringing Verstappen into the team would be the boldest yet, especially because it puts two alpha drivers in the same garage. Initially, most people thought that if Max came in, Russell would be the one pushed out. But here's where things get spicy. New reports suggest that it might actually be Kimi Antonelli who gets the short end of the stick, with a potential move to Alpine on the horizon. And yeah, Alpine's picking up Mercedes power units from 2026, so the dots definitely connect. That would allow Mercedes to keep Antonelli close, let him develop without the intense pressure of fighting for titles, and then bring him back when he's fully ready. But here's the dilemma. Antonelli's been doing great so far, so why risk derailing his progress by shifting him to a midfield team? The answer lies in Verstappen's availability. When a four-time world champion is up for grabs, no seat is safe. Mercedes wants the best, and if they can get Max in a silver arrow, they're going to pull every string they can. Still, it's not just about raw performance, it's about chemistry. Two dominant drivers in one team rarely ends well. Just ask any fan who remembers Hamilton versus Rosberg. But Russell isn't shying away. He's made it clear he's ready to take on anyone, Max included. So now I've got to ask you, would you like to see Max and Russell as teammates? Or is that just a recipe for disaster? Let me know in the comments, and while you're here, subscribe to our channel and enable the notification bell. Your subscription is very important to us. Help us grow and reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. We've got so much more to break down. And trust me, it only gets crazier from here. Now let's zoom in on Red Bull. Because if you thought the Mercedes situation was messy, this might be even worse. The team that looked nearly unbeatable just a year ago is now teetering on the edge of full-blown collapse. Ever since Adrian Newey left, everything's been unraveling. Technical issues are stacking up. Upgrades aren't delivering. Morale seems low. And in the middle of it all, Max Verstappen. Max hasn't held back lately. He's been openly critical about the car's development and the direction the team is taking. That's not something he usually does unless he's seriously frustrated. And you know what? That frustration is completely justified. He's a champion, he wants results, and when he sees Red Bull stumbling from one weekend to the next, he starts looking at his options. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Reports surfaced about Toto Wolff and Verstappen both being spotted in Sardinia at the same time. Coincidence? Maybe. But if you believe that, you probably believe Ferrari's pit wall always makes the right strategy call. I mean, come on. Max and Toto in the same place, right when Red Bull's falling apart and Mercedes is eyeing a reset for 2026? That timing is just too perfect. And make no mistake, Toto wants Max. He's made it clear that if Verstappen is available, he's, going after him. No hesitation. The big question now is whether Max is ready to jump ship. If he stays at Red Bull, he's committing to a full rebuild. If he moves to Mercedes, he gets a clean slate, fresh regulations, and a shot at even more championships. But here's the kicker. If Max joins Mercedes, what happens to Russell and Antonelli? The Mercedes garage isn't big enough for all three, and that puts everyone's seat under threat, especially Russell, who, despite winning a race in 2025, might be the odd man out. So what do you think? Did Toto and Max really meet behind closed doors? And would Verstappen walk away from Red Bull now, or ride it out? Drop your theories in the comments below. And hey, if you're enjoying this breakdown, like the video and subscribe. It helps more than you know and gets us closer to our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Let's shift gears and talk about Kimi Antonelli, because his role in all of this is a lot bigger than it might seem at first glance. When Lewis Hamilton left Mercedes. The team made a bold call by fast-tracking Antonelli into Formula One. The kid's got talent, no doubt. But now, with Max Verstappen possibly entering the picture, Mercedes is facing a serious dilemma. Do they keep Antonelli in the main team, or temporarily send him elsewhere to make room? That elsewhere might just be Alpine. From 2026, Alpine will be powered by Mercedes engines, and that opens the door to a strategic partnership. Sending Antonelli there could give him the chance to gain valuable race experience away from the spotlight without completely cutting him out of Mercedes' long-term plans. It's a win-win on paper, but here's where it gets tricky. Antonelli hasn't done anything wrong. In fact, he's impressed. So why risk damaging his confidence by moving him out of a top team, especially when he's shown he can hang with the best? It's a gamble either way. Leave him in, and you risk tension with a new alpha like Verstappen. Move him out, and you risk stalling the momentum of your next big star. That's what makes this so complicated. Mercedes has a lot riding on Antonelli. He's not just a backup plan, he's a cornerstone for their future. But Max Verstappen is a once-in-a-generation driver. If he's available, teams have to make room, no matter how uncomfortable it gets. So here's my question for you. If you were Toto Wolff, would you stick with Antonelli or loan him out to Alpine to clear the path for Max? Head over to the comments and tell me what you'd do. And hey, if you're enjoying this deep dive, don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We're building something great here, and your support helps us hit our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Now, if Max Verstappen does decide to leave Red Bull, the big question becomes, who's stepping up to fill those giant shoes? Red Bull's youth program has produced some promising talent, but replacing a 4-time world champion? That's a whole different level of pressure. The two names everyone's talking about are Isaac Hadjar and Arvid Lindblad. Both have been impressive in junior categories, and Red Bull's hoping they can be the future stars who bring the team back to glory. But here's the catch. Jumping straight into the Red Bull main car isn't easy. History shows that even the most talented drivers often struggle when promoted too soon. Take Juri Vips, for example. Crushing it with Red Bull's sister team, but failing to make an impact when stepping up. It's a tough, transition, especially when you're following someone like Max, who drives that car to the absolute limit. Because of that, Red Bull might want to keep their rookies in the junior team a little longer, letting them develop without the intense spotlight. But at the same time, without Max, Red Bull needs experience in the cockpit to stay competitive. It's a tricky balance. Also, both Hadjar and Lindblad know the risks. Sitting next to a driver like Max, who's been dominant for years, can make or break a career. It's a high-pressure environment where every mistake is magnified. One wrong move, and their potential could be crushed before it's fully realized. So, what do you think? Should Red Bull take the risk and promote their young guns immediately? Or would it be smarter to bring in a seasoned driver to stabilize the team? Drop your thoughts below. I'm curious what you think is the best move for the Austrian powerhouse. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Your support means everything and helps us grow to reach 1,000 subscribers, so you won't miss any of these crazy updates. Finally, let's take a quick look at Cadillac, the American team quietly shaking things up in this silly season chaos. They're rumored to be signing veterans like Valtteri Bottas or Sergio Perez to add experience to their lineup. But there's also talk about giving Mick Schumacher a second chance after his struggles to return to F1 since being dropped in 2022. Cadillac sees value in him, especially because of his experience with Ferrari engines and potential to bounce back. If Mick doesn't get the seat, there are other options too, like Joe or Juri Vips, depending on how things shake out with Red Bull's junior drivers. Cadillac's approach seems clear. Build a competitive, balanced team with a mix of experience and youth to make a splash in the coming years. This team might not grab as many headlines as Mercedes or Red Bull, but their moves could have a big impact on the grid's future. It's definitely one to watch as the silly season drama unfolds. So, what's your take? Who should Cadillac sign to make the biggest impact next season? Bottas, Perez, Schumacher, or someone else? Let me know in the comments below. And before you go, make sure you've subscribed and turned on notifications to stay ahead of all the latest driver drama. Your subscription is super important to help us reach 1,000 subscribers and keep bringing you the freshest formula. One news.